A very good morning to all of you friends. Today we are going to study about science for class 7. Our chapter, as you know, is food, that means nutrition in plants. We have already completed autotropic mode of nutrition. Now our today's topic is heterotopic mode of nutrition in plants. Okay, so other modes of nutrition in plants. You know, green plants, they are called autotrophs because they can synthesize their own food from simple inorganics which are present in the atmosphere. Okay, so they are called autotrophic mode, that is called autotrophic mode of nutrition. But there are some plants which do not contain chlorophyll in them, so they are called heterotrophs, and the mode of nutrition is called heterotopic mode of nutrition. Such kind of plants are dependent on other organisms for their food. Now under, you can see heterotopic mode of nutrition, like other modes of nutrition in plants. So this is basically heterotopic. Autotropic we have already completed, so this is heterotopic. Now here we will study about 4 heterotropic mode of nutrition. Okay, hetero actually means different, so different mode of nutrition other than autotrophs. Got it? So under heterotopic mode of nutrition we will study about saprophytes, we will study about parasites, about insectivorous plants, and about symbiotic plants. Okay, so today in this topic, today's video, we will complete 2 topics, that is saprophytes and parasites. Now, who are these saprophytes? Saprophytic mode of nutrition basically means those plants which derive their nutrition from dead and decay organic matter. Because sapro means dead and decay organic matter. That means rotten things. So these kind of plants, they cannot make their own food because they don't contain chlorophyll. So they are dependent on other plants for their food. And what kind of other plants? All the dead and decay and rotten organic matter. Got it? Now these saprophytes, they have some digestive enzymes in their body by the help of which they can digest the rotten things and then they can obtain or absorb the nutrients from them. Okay, so saprophytic mode of nutrition. You can see one example is mushroom. Okay, so mushroom also depends on dead and decay organic matter. Some other examples are like molds, common bread mold that you have seen sometimes in the stale bread. You have seen some leathery substance which grow on them. Okay, so they are called the common bread mold. And some other examples like lactobacillus, okay, the curd bacteria that can convert milk into curd. So it is also a type of saprophytic organism. Okay, so you'll remember these 3 examples: common bread mold or simply mold, mushrooms, and lactobacillus. Okay, these examples are given in our book, so please go through them. And then the second one is parasitic mode of nutrition. Now in parasitic mode of nutrition, para means also different. So parasitic mode of nutrition, there are some organisms which depend on other organisms. Because we are doing nutrition in plants, so there are some plants which depend on other plants for their supply of food, for nutrients, for shelter, etc. Okay, so parasite means some plants which grow on other plants. Those plants are called host plants. Okay, so in parasitic mode of nutrition, some plants are there which derive their nutrition from other plants which are known as host plants. Okay, now there are some examples of parasitic mode of nutrition, but you should also know that there are 2 types of parasitic mode of nutrition. One is called the total parasite, the other they are called partial parasites. Okay, in case of total parasites, they cannot make their food and they depend on other host plant for their food, for their shelter, and for absorption of nutrients. Okay, so total parasitic plants cannot make their food. They depend on host plants for food, for shelter, and for nutrients, supply of nutrients. Okay, examples which are given in our book are, we have total parasite as like apodenthus. Okay, this is an example, apodanthus. So you will see the spelling and then learn it, apodanthus. Then we also have total parasites like you can say this one, actually the biggest or largest flower, that is called Rafflesia. Okay, the biggest or the largest flower, that is called Rafflesia. So these are 2 examples of total parasite, and we also have another example that is called Kaskuta. In Hindi it is called Amar Bel. Okay, this Cuscuta plant also cannot produce its own food, so it grows on another host plant and then derive the food, the nutrients, also take shelter of the host plant without killing them. Okay, so these are called total parasites. The second type of parasite are called partial parasite. Partial means part. So half. That means half they are dependent on the host and half they can produce on their own. Okay, so partial parasitic plants, they can make their own food, but their root system is very poor, so they cannot absorb minerals and nutrients from the soil, so they grow on other plants. Got it? So partial parasites, they can produce their own food, but for their shelter and for supply of minerals and water, they are dependent on the host plant. That is why they are called partial parasites. So I hope I am clear. Total parasites means they cannot produce anything on their own. They are totally dependent on the host plant. But partial parasite means those plants which can produce their own food. They can synthesize their own food. They have chlorophyll in them, but their root system is so poor that they cannot absorb minerals and water from the soil. So they are dependent on the host plant. That is why partial parasite. Some examples of partial parasite given in our book is mistletoe. Okay, mistletoe, mistletoe, mistletoe. Like this is an example of the mistletoe plant. Okay, mistletoe. Another example is orchid. So orchid can produce its own food, but its root system is so poor that it cannot absorb nutrients from the soil, so it grows on other host plants. Okay, so today in this video we have completed two types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition in plants. Like here we have four. Okay, like saprophytes, we have parasites. These two we have completed just now. Two are left, insectivorous and symbiotic. These two we will do in our next video. I will upload the summary. Okay, please write down this page and learn it. Thank you so much for watching this video.